It's Klayton, aka Celldweller, and I am here in collaboration with Vintage King to talk to you today about the Elektron Analog Heat. So to describe the Elektron Analog Heat, it's very simple. It's a beautiful distortion box. There are 8 stereo distortion circuits. You've got 7 filter types and a 2-band EQ. Not to mention you've got an envelope that is very flexible. It can act as an envelope follower or just a straight up envelope that can be synced to MIDI, control voltage, and the same with the LFO. So you can control these via control voltage in or MIDI in and synchronize all that. That doesn't even include talking about Elektron's overbridge technology, which is brilliant, and it allows you to actually control this from inside the box using their proprietary plugin, and you can actually automate parameters and switch different things and control different things from within your DAW, automate them, and it will actually do that with the hardware over the overbridge technology. For a more in-depth look at the overbridge technology, check out my Elektron Analog Keys demo where I go into that in much more depth. What I love about this is it's pretty much WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. It's laid out really nicely here. There's some menu diving if you want to go into your settings and change various options and setups, and once that's done, almost everything else you need to do is right here. So you have your amp section, your filter and EQ section, your envelope section, and your LFO section. And then here are your 8 distortion types. Very simply, you got this nice big fat dial that will change your distortion types. And here are your filter types with your cutoff frequency and your resonance. And if you hit both of these buttons at the same time, it bypasses the filter completely. You've got these EQ, just a basic low and high EQ, and this is a lifesaver because this really, in my productions, these simple little knobs add that little bit you need for clarity to cut through a mix, a little boost or cut on the low end, and very handy. I'm really glad that they included these. So it's way more fun to hear examples of this than to hear me blab, so why don't we jump in? I'm using Roland's little boutique module, the JP08, to send some audio into this, and it's a very simple little bass line, but I want to kind of show you the power of the analog heat. So here's what the bass line sounds like completely dry. Pretty good chance I'm not going to be topping any charts with that one, but that's not really the point of this. Let's listen to the analog heat. So that's cool, and I can modulate the frequency by hand, but there are better ways to do that. You've got an LFO here that can synchronize to tempo, to the DAW. So I'm sending clock from Cubase, or you can send it via CV, or you can set an internal rate of your own choosing. But I'm actually clocking it via Cubase, and I've set my LFO rate to 8 times my clock tempo. And I'm going to go to the filter and EQ section, and where it says LFO, I'm going to actually dial up a frequency amount, and you're going to see that's going to start sweeping the frequency cutoff all by itself. So you can hear that's kind of clocked to the tempo. Let's throw in a beat and kind of hear what that sounds like. And now I can also manually modulate the frequency cutoff. So that's only using the bandpass filter, and it's pretty cool, but I think we need to jump into some drums to really show you some flexibility. Let's change some distortion types and show you more modulation of the filter cutoff and get a little freaky. So I'm going to go to the Roland TR8, throw some beats into the analog heat, and get grimy. So here's a really boring basic beat out of the TR8. Let's add some heat. So the rough crunch preset sounds good, but I want some more clarity in the top end, and that's where these 2 EQs come in handy. some lows. So we also have envelopes and LFOs, like I mentioned, that you can modulate all sorts of things when you peek under the hood here. And so you don't have to actually manually tweak everything like I'm doing. But this is just really to show you some sound examples of what this thing is capable of. Remember, this is all analog, which is beautiful. It adds amazing quality to not just your other analog gear, but digital stuff within the box. Experiment and have fun. And the overbridge connectivity really adds a whole new level of functionality to this, and I feel would integrate really well into a lot of modern composers and producers' workflows. Thanks for sticking all the way through this episode of Celldweller Production. I hope you can see the potential in the Elektron Analog Heat, and if you want one, head over to Vintage King's site and they can get one to you right away. There's more video like this coming to my channel, so like this video and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, this is Klayton, aka Celldweller, signing off.